Time now is 8:31 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, I slept from 2:50 to 8:10. Not a lot of sleep, to be fair. That's pretty much like 5 hours and 20 minutes. It's not that bad. It really isn't that bad, but because over the last few days I've been having a string of very good sleep. Suddenly I have one sleep less than 6 hours, and it's like, oh fuck. But yeah, it's not that bad. But I didn't immediately fall asleep, and also the sleep quality was fucking awful. I woke up like 10 times at 6 a.m. I was pretty much wide awake. And I also had this crazy dream where I was with my mom, and I guess with a bunch of other people too. I guess this is like work-related thing. And my mom's playing this like game where, like if you have number one, you need to look for a code. So on and so forth. So my mom has a tag on her shirt that says number one, and everyone thought it's like, oh, it's just fun. It's just, ooh, I am number one, like a cutesy little tag. But turns out it's part of the game, and it's like A1 or something. And then people around my mom has to look for a code. So everyone looking under the table, and also this feels like some kind of canteen in daylight. Exterior, maybe interior, I forgot, but daylight, very bright, and pretty nice, fancy green-ish, kind of canteen-ish area where a lot of people are already sitting down about to have food, but people start like looking under tables and chairs and looking at different objects to see if they can find a label with a code on it. Anyways, completely unrelated. The next day, this whole event thing is over. This whole multi-day event thing is over, and I need to leave. And turns out I was in the UK, I was in London, but I have to leave by myself. I'm not leaving with my family. And I grabbed all my luggage, and I was gonna take a bus, and then switch from bus to train, and then head to the airport, which is for some reason east of the city or something. And the terminal where I have to change from bus to train is called Victoria. And it's so refreshing and new. I'm in Europe all by myself, and I'm just trying to figure out this bus. So I took a bus, and then at some point I was carrying a mug and a really beautiful cup, but they both have like coffee in it or something, and then another cup. I have 3 cups with me, so I decided to I went to the trash next to the bus stop, and I just threw out 2 cups, including the beautiful cup, unbeknownst to me. And then I started lining up for the bus, the double-decker bus, may I remind you. I think it was green, the double-decker bus. It was like very nice, clean, like, you know, future, sustainable Europe, you know. And there's a black woman behind me, or no, she was a trans woman, or maybe she was white, I forgot. But at some point, I was like, oh, I threw something out, I'll be back. So we were originally in line. So I went to the trash, and I saw that I threw away 2 beautiful cups, and I'm like, oh my god. So I took them back, and I put it in a paper bag. So I have the 3 cups now. And I put the paper cup inside the beautiful mug to save space. It's like a Russian doll. So I hopped on to the line again, the line for the bus. It's so crazy too. We were driving on the right side of the road. I remember that in my dream. No, in the UK people drive left. That's insane. Okay. I think I'm remembering American. Like, in the dream is the UK, but I'm dreaming that everyone's driving on the right side because that's how I remember America. That's probably it. But I noticed that there are a ton of people in front of me and behind me in the line waiting for the bus who are also trans, which is so interesting. I thought I'm in some kind of like trans neighborhood where everyone around here is just transgender. I hopped onto the bus, and at that point I was wearing a pink sweatsuit, something like that. And then there were some haters on the bus. I got onto the bus, I was on the first floor or ground floor of the bus at the back end. And there were some like bigots or like some anti-trans people just hating. And at some point I realized I took the wrong direction, got off the bus, and suddenly it's become like a battlefield, because on the bus, so some trans people couldn't get onto the bus because they were trans, and the bus driver was anti-trans. And so the trans people, they started chasing after the bus, and the more they run, the more people follow this mob. And they start like they start organizing attacks, and they're all wearing pink. And they're preparing these like grape juice bottles, like purple substance, but they're grape juice, and they're planning to throw this at the bus. And at that point I was like supporting the trans, but it was kind of conflicting because I'm on the bus. And like they go through like malls, they go through stores, like the trans people mob, and then got off the bus, and then a huge fight breaks out. It's like basically a battlefield where everyone who's anti-trans is wearing green, and everyone who's trans and pro-trans are wearing pink. And it's just this crazy fight, but it's not like a bloody fight, it's like a superpower fight. And for some reason I'm also wearing pink, and that automatically renders me as an ally. I have this weird cat-shaped sponge that I can hold in my hand, and if I press the sponge against someone's skin, it leaves a mark. So it's actually a GPS tracker. There's this guy who I was teaming up with, and I didn't even know he's green. And later he revealed that he's green, and I'm like, sorry man, I gotta fight you now. And then I left. I went back to the airport. Yeah, that was a lot. Okay, so I'm waking up early as hell today because of my mom's work, the MCF concert. So I'm going to be filming that with a camera. It's probably not going to be that arduous of a task, because I feel like I'm used to film sets, so I'm just taking it in. And that's pretty much it for today. Yeah.
你自己？你入嚟度，你講聲好多㗎嘛？唔夠 confident， 你哋交晒片俾我㗎啦。係啦，做咩後面係啦？暫時未有嘢做係啦，有啲幫手麻煩晒。
Okay, time now is 1:52 a.m. in the morning. I am super duper tired. It's really late now, and yeah, I'm gonna like watch half an episode of Squid Game, and then I'm done. Um, just wanna talk about what happened today, I guess. Today I woke up quite early and went to Namcheon MTR station after a whole hour of riding at the MTR, and then walked 10 more minutes to the Shumshuipo Stadium, which is a place I've never been to. It's a public space. It's a little sports area. And that's where the concert for my mom's company is taking place, and I was responsible for filming there. And yeah, it went okay today. It was like last summer's concert, but about 5 times easier because it was completely indoors, and the place wasn't that big, and there weren't that many performers. Yeah, I was basically, my role today was assistant director, but that doesn't mean anything. I'm not first ADing anything. I'm basically someone who tells 2 other camera operators to film specific things. I would tell this one guy, oh, film them doing this thing. And I would tell another guy, okay, this person is going to do something in the next performance, in the next song, so film that. But the thing is, I don't even need to do that because my colleague, he basically did all that for me. He made this very detailed, very useful manual, this guide, this guidebook with photos and tables and maps that basically tell us in great detail what to film at what specific time. So honestly, I don't have much directing to do. I felt this weird sense of responsibility because the word director is attached to my name. Suddenly I'm like, I have to be active and I have to be taking charge, but I actually don't have to because I can't, because the 2 camera operators working for me today, they're both actually older than me. One of them is 26, graduated from City University like 2 years ago, and is already in film, and he's like planning his first documentary like feature film. The other guy is graduated for like 5 years already and is like deep into film. And both of these guys are also like film students with the colleagues. So they're older than me and probably more experienced than me. Yeah, I studied in the US, but doesn't mean anything because I haven't been to that many sets, even though I've been to a handful. 4 handfuls of sets. No, actually more than that. But anyways, but it's different, you know? So I already feel stupid. The only reason why I got this role as assistant director is I was at the rehearsal 3 days ago, so I know the rundown of the situation, but more importantly because my mom is the COO of the company, and I can take on this role so that it would be justified if I'm given like 3,000 Hong Kong dollars, essentially. So I'll gladly take it, but damn, I was basically useless today. So I didn't even bring my own camera, but that was stupid because my camera bag and my lens would have helped, or maybe it wouldn't. But I basically used the Sony a7 IV instead of a7 III, and I didn't do much. There was lunch at 11 a.m. and I just had some rice with chicken and chashu, pretty basic. And then there's another meal at 4 p.m., which is crazy. 2 meals. so close to each other. And then I had some fried noodles with mushrooms, which actually tastes really good, even though there's no meat in it. I just realized that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I had chicken. Like, in the morning, super early in the morning, I had chicken congee, which is crazy. I'm not used to eating meat early in the morning. But yeah, during the shoot, during the rehearsals, it was like, okay, I filmed whatever I can film. I missed out some moments. I captured some other cool moments. It was okay. And like the two other guys, they're more like, they have their own camera and they have nice cameras. They have nice lenses. They have their own labs and tripods and everything. And I'm like, well, I'm stupid. I'm an inexperienced noob. So it's like one guy, the younger guy is 26 and the other guy, I don't know how old he is. So the younger guy, he studied at City U, and he's actually like a really nice guy. He has curly hair for some reason, and he sounds like Potter. And I asked him if he knows Potter, and he's like, no. And I was like, no, but Potter also studied creative media in City U. And then later I showed him his Instagram, and he's like, no, I don't know him. And then a little bit later, he's like, no, wait, I know this guy, but I don't know from where. But we talked a lot, and we talked about movies, because he's wearing an Irma Vep shirt, and I was like, ooh, Irma Vep, great movie. And he's like, haha, I actually have never seen it. And then we talked a little bit, we exchanged a letterbox, and I mentioned that I went to Cannes, because that's my biggest credit at this point, is that I went to Cannes Film Festival. He went there for one night only, but he was an exchange student in Prague, Czech Republic for a while. And the other guy is like this fat guy, and he seems really hard to approach and mean, and like I feel this way all the time, especially in Hong Kong, and that is whenever I'm involved in some film related thing, I'm always the noob, and I always feel like people are looking down on me. But then I realize in the US, if I do a film, I probably feel the same way too. The only time that it didn't happen was Objects in Mirror, because I was close with everyone. But yeah, so I'm just trying to think of what really happened. I guess it just felt like a film set where I'm the BTS photographer. I just constantly walk around, zoom around, filming things, filming kids, which sounds crazy, but yeah, I'm used to it. I'm used to being a BTS person, just running around. But this time we're there to film like a docu-style thing. And I'm glad I'm not using my own camera. I feel less bad about putting the camera on the floor and then accidentally bumping the camera on something. I'm like, yeah, who cares? Yeah. I also saw several people. So my brother's there, my brother's friend is there. He's actually here right now, sleeping next room, next to me, right fucking now. And also the twins that I met. Okay, Cedric showed up, and this girl, this young Asian girl with streaks of silver hair. I'm just gonna stop describing her. Like, I don't know where she came from. Turns out she's like my cousin's girlfriend, and my cousin introduced her to me, and I was like, nice to meet you, and then I left and never spoke to her again. And I don't want to. I don't want to look at her too much because I don't want to remember her face. You know how when you meet someone once or twice, you don't really remember their face after a while? I hope that's the case. I don't want to be reminded that my cousin has a girlfriend, okay? I don't want to be reminded of that shit. And she's like a normal person either. Like, I would feel less bad if it's like a toxic relationship, If it's like a bad relationship, I would feel less bad because I rejoice in other people's failures and I rejoice in other people's pain, Schadenfreude. Oh fuck me, I just elbowed the wall. I'm back. Like a snack. So, yeah, another moment was when I was talking to that other guy. We were sitting together during the 4 p.m. quote unquote second lunch, and he was like, "Oh, like, 你有冇溝鬼妹? Like, have you, flirted with or like tried to date like foreigners?" And again, I love these crazy questions because you're assuming that I flirt with women at all. Like, that's so insane. I don't even flirt with a woman. Like, I don't even, like, honestly, I've come to a point where I'm just gonna give up trying to date a Hong Konger. I remember how headstrong I was about this 3 years ago. I was like, oh, my first girlfriend or whatever has to be a Hong Konger because I need to know what I've missed out. I need to be in a relationship in Cantonese in Hong Kong with the same cultural background because that's what I've been missing out on. But I've come to a point where by the time I had a crush on Leslie 2 years ago, I already gave up on that. And I don't even I've never even thought about dating a white person or a black person or a Latina, even though I have friends in all of those categories, but I'm sorry, man. I'm aro ace as fuck. Yeah, and I feel bad in moments like this, and I look at Tom and I'm like, you know what? We're in the same boat. And then yeah, and then what else? Yeah, lasted quite a while. At the end, at 10 p.m., we sort of take. So, me and the two other camera operators, cam man, we all follow specific groups of people. I follow two little girls, siblings, and their mom, and they're in the choir together. And then the 26-year-old guy, he follows the percussion, two girls and percussion, and then the other fat guy follows two younger boys, double bass players, who are the apprentices of an older of an elder sister who also plays a double bass cello. And they're like, we're making this 3-parted documentary, and they're kind of like the focus, the subjects. So that's that. And when I was filming the two little girls, they were naughty, and they're making silly faces, and then at the end when we did the interview, they're just dead quiet and awkward. And this made me realize how damn good of a job I did with the two young boys for The World Is Not Enough. I was able to get a performance out of them. I know how to direct child performances now. Yeah, I may not be, even today, even though there were, cinematography things that I know about, shutter speed and white balance and things like that, but ultimately you have to realize I'm a director guy. I'm a director, and today when my colleague was interviewing the kids, my colleague wasn't doing that great of a job. My colleague's like, oh, say that again, but smoothly. And I'm like, a kid can't do that. And I tried to make the kid, the two little girls, say it in their own language. So yeah. And also I'm trying to get into art directing and PD. Cinematography is not gonna be my thing. I know the basics. I know the shutter speeds and the f-stops and all that, and I think that's great that I know the basics. Yeah, so we ended it very late. I came back home quite late, and that's pretty much it. I'm done. I'm gonna have big sleep tomorrow. It's probably gonna be rainstorm tomorrow, so it's gonna be interesting. If not, I'll go out and watch a film, and I'll go jogging again, because it's been 3 days again. Wow, time flies. Jian randomly DM'd me on Instagram saying, "Did you know Tristan has a girlfriend?" And I was like, "Wow!" And I just sent her some laughing emojis. And then she's like, "This situation is bad. Maisie's really hurt." And I'm like, "What? What?" So, as it turns out, Tristan and Maisie were kinda unofficially dating. Like, they were really close, and Maisie had feelings for Tristan, which is crazy for me. I thought they were just friends. Maybe I'm just naive, but I feel like if someone are dating, I would be able to feel it. But when me and Tristan and Maisie were together on Rush Day 1, like, I didn't feel that kind of romance, you know. Even though they were close, but it felt like a friendship thing. But holy shit, I didn't know about this. And then turns out Tristan already has a girlfriend, which is interesting because on the last day of Death Matriarch's Jewels, Jinrun was like, "Oh, you're dating that person, right?" And then Tristan just laughed it off and walked away, and I thought it was like kind of a joke, kind of a misunderstanding. But then it's also kind of real, and then yeah, which is crazy because Tristan is like a weird, nerdy, skinny guy. And I didn't think he would really date anyone. He just gives off that vibe. But then if he does, I wouldn't be surprised because everyone surprises me these days. But yeah, Jiren was really mad. Jiren was like, "Wow, I'm never gonna work with Tristan again. I'm gonna kill him. Yeah." And then I just told Tristan, I told Jiren, like, "Yeah, you know, there's a lot of crazy people in grad school." And then I told Jiren about David, and Jiren's like, "Who the fuck is David?" And I told her all about it, and he's like, "Oh my god, Jesus, you." So yeah, very brief conversation, but yeah, and lots of weird romantic failures. Ooh, like Christian R and his breakup with Katie, and then Tristan and Maisie, which I just found out. Jiren thought I was close with Tristan, so Jiren thought I would know. Like, Jiren thought I know all about how close Maisie and Tristan are, and I was like, I have no idea, bruh. I literally befriended Tristan 1.5 months ago. I genuinely don't know. Jiren has overestimated me. She thinks I got connections and shit. I don't. So that's crazy. Don't know what to say. But then I'm also not terribly surprised. Tristan is a crazy guy. But yeah. I don't know, man. Especially these days, there are these cases where it makes me think that maybe dating is not that difficult or it's not that complicated. Like AJ and Marty having girlfriends, and then Tristan having dating. It's just like the person you don't expect to date also gets a date because it's so easy, actually. And it's not rocket science. Just be nice and it'll work out. But then for some reason, I always make it seem insanely difficult. Like dating for me, like love and romance is always like this crazy, mythological, faraway thing, like another plane of existence. But then, come to think of it, I only had 2 crushes, and I failed twice, which is sad. But for very reasonable reasons, like Mary, I was too scared to talk to her, and I was a weird guy. And then Leslie, who turned out to be a psycho, and also I was a weird guy, but less weird. But I feel like I'm normal now, kinda, and I only tried twice. It wasn't like I tried 30 times, you know? So maybe it's not that difficult? I genuinely don't know why I make it seem like the most difficult thing ever. But it really isn't that difficult, maybe. I don't know. the other thing is, well, the big factor is that it's my fault, because I'm kind of arrow ace and I don't, Severin from LMU just DM'd me, just texted me. He just reimbursed me money. Yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I feel like partially it's me because I don't love people that much. Yeah, I should try it out. Maybe it's not that difficult. I don't know. Especially now when I guess I'm at my most mature, and I'm also trying to be healthy and smart and talented, and maybe I have a chance. Like, maybe, yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of it also stems from the fact that I'm just like, I just have such strong social fear. Like, I always assume people hate me. I think that's probably why it's less so about like my romantic life being difficult. It's more so my life in general being difficult, my social life, because I keep thinking that everyone hates me, even though it's probably not really the case these days. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, that's all. Okay, it's 11:35 a.m. in the morning. It is mega raining and thundering outside right now. Lots of wind and rain, lots of storm. It's typhoon number 10. I slept from 3:30 to like 11:10. Yeah, really crazy. Yeah, I don't really, it's fine because I don't think I'm going outside at all today. And it's chill. I forgot to mention a couple things from yesterday. One is, there were twins that I used to know. When I was a young kid, I started in a commercial with them, and since then my mom and their mom have been keeping up, and I've seen them once every 2 to 3 years. So I saw one of them last night, and it was like fine, and then he randomly told me, oh, by the way, I saw that you went to Cannes. I saw that you went to a film festival in Europe, and I was like, oh yeah, Cannes. And he's like, yeah, I saw your video on YouTube. And I'm like, what? And he's like, oh, I forgot if it's on Instagram or YouTube. And then I'm like, I didn't post any videos on Instagram about Cannes. And then on YouTube, I didn't even post any vlogs, but it's crazy. And then a little bit later, while I was having my second lunch, he was like, okay, well, I have a stomachache now, hold on. He was like, yeah, I found your YouTube channel, Culture Detective, and I watched that a little bit more than your other channel, Art House Detective. But wow, you seem really dedicated to film. Like, I even watch your like vlogs, you know, your host family vlogs, and I even saw your little syndrome rap video, and I'm like, oh my god, why do you watch everything? And so, I don't know, I'm beginning to feel that there are a lot of people out there who knows about my YouTube channel, but I just don't know that they know. Because like a similar thing happened though, right? Luis finds out about my YouTube channel, but it's fine because it's Luis. And you know, I have this saying like, oh, most people who found out about my YouTube channel, it's okay that they found out because I trust them. But like the truth is, they only tell me because they trust me. So if freaking Matt, or even Jayan, or I don't know, Christian R, or Colin, if they find out about your channel, okay, well, Christian R would have told me, and Jayan may or may not, but like, okay, if like, I don't know, if Leslie finds out, like, that would be big trouble, you know? Or not big trouble, I wouldn't care less. Okay, if Matt finds out, that's the problem. So I don't know, I feel like this really made me think I should really just delete my YouTube channel, or at least go through YouTube reformation where I put out videos that are more high in quality and not show my face. So I'm really thinking of just quit doing reviews unless it's in the form of a very well thought out, well edited video essay. Because at least if Matt finds out that I have a YouTube channel but it's all like long video essays, at least it's more respectable than just me going blah blah on my, on my phone. So yeah. I don't have much else to say. I want to talk more to Giant today. I feel like every 2 to 3 days Giant is finding something to tell me. And I want to speak to her as well, but I keep not being able to. Like, keep not knowing what the conversation topic should be. So yeah, there's that. Gotta go. Okay, time now is 11:34 p.m. Yeah, I don't really have a lot to say. My canker sore still hurts. Oh god. It's been a slow day. Nothing crazy happened other than a huge storm outside. Yeah. Stayed at home the whole day, home all day. Actually pretty crazy considering that this is my first home all day in quite some time. Also nothing crazy happened at all. Nothing interesting happened. I tried to talk to Jiayun. I asked Jiayun out of the blue, out of nowhere. I feel like, I don't know though. I don't know, because I and Jiayun, we talk quite a bit since Anime Expo. And every 2 to 3 days she would initiate a conversation with me. So I thought maybe I should initiate the conversation this time. But then the moment I was in her in the group, not in the group chat, in the chat with her, I was like, fuck, I'm getting chicken feet again. It's like I'm not completely comfortable with her still, even after so long. So I just asked her, hey, when are you gonna confirm which day are you coming to Hong Kong? And then I also asked her, what map app do Chinese people use? Because I'm struggling using Google Maps when I was trying to look at how to get around in Beijing. And she gave pretty half-assed replies. She was like, hey, let me check with family. And then she said Gaoda, which is the name of the Chinese map app. It's so ridiculous. Like, just use Google Maps. This is so funny. So yeah, I can't really see Jiayun as a Chinese person though. She just feels like a white person to me. Oh no, she feels like an Asian American person. I just refuse to accept that she is Chinese. Like, there are Chinese people, like, other Chinese people like Bella or Linda, Jen. Like, they feel Chinese because all they ever do is hang out with Chinese people. And they just give off actual Chinese vibes. Like, even though Bella speaks perfect American English. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. So yeah, very short conversation. I want to talk more to her. I want to be comfortable with her, but I don't know. And then beyond that, I don't have much else to say. Garrett in the Can WhatsApp group, Garrett suddenly sent a screenshot, and it's A24 released an Instagram post for Eddington, and it's like a little funny little meme about Eddington, and I liked it. And it says liked by Who is Enoch. And Garrett took a screenshot and drew a red circle over my name, and I don't know why that is. Like, we like the same things, and that's very normal. Like, I don't know why. And it's very scary, because Garrett is like, he's not very approachable. I don't know why. Like, after a can, I was like, after living with them for like 12 days, I'm still like, damn, it's difficult for me to approach these people. So I don't know what's going on, nor do I really care. Like, it doesn't really mean anything anyways. Had a big dinner. I spent so much time today, like at least 4 or 5 hours trying to import videos from this phone to my laptop. It was just causing a lot of trouble, and then exporting that thoughts update video took forever. Yeah, but I spent a lot of, I watched 1.5 episodes of Squid Game, one episode of Story of Yangtze Palace, and then I'm gonna watch a film later, so lots of watching stuff. I don't know, I realized that I really don't have a lot of time to do anything, honestly. Like, I don't know, I don't actually have a lot of time to do, to just relax. Like, a week later, I'll be at Beijing, literally 1 week left, and then I come back for 10 days, which is not that much actually, and then I'll be gone again, and yeah. And part of me kind of wanted, like, part of my expectation of coming back to Hong Kong was to just relax and, feel that there's no ending to this relaxation. But this is kind of the opposite of that. And I don't know. Yeah. What else happened? Something else happened. Nothing big, nothing crazy, but somebody DM'd me on Instagram, and I don't fucking know. Oh yeah, yeah, that was nothing. I really don't have anything else to talk about. Again, back to the twin brothers that I met yesterday, or it was just one of them. The other one actually didn't show up. So, yeah, one of them told me that he watches a lot of my YouTube videos, and I was like, why are you watching my YouTube? And he's like, well, it's a side I've never seen from you. It's another side of you. And I like that he's saying that to my face so straightforwardly, but Jesus Christ, it's scary. Because, like, it's so interesting, too. It's like, when I talk to people in real life, in social situations, I'm actually only showing, like, one side of myself. And then on YouTube, it's another side. And then in my short films, it's the complete opposite side. It's like there are 3 versions of me. Like, when I talk to people in real life, I don't sound like this. First of all, I feel like right now, me talking to the phone and everything is the truest me. It's me in the purest form, right? But I don't even sound like this in front of other people. Like, I was way more I would be way more clunkier, and unless I'm in front of people I'm comfortable with. But most of the time, I'm way more awkward and clunky and a little jumpy, maybe incoherent a little bit. But then on YouTube, especially in my reviews, I'm much more performative. I'm much more commanding. So that's the difference between the video Garrett filmed of me and the video I filmed myself. It's like 2 different personas. And then there's me in my short film, which is like, from my short films, I guess you can say I seem like a pretty crazy person. So I don't know, I just feel like I just don't reveal all of myself in the public, which I think is part of the reason why people have a hard time connecting with me and I have a hard time connecting with people. But then also, it's not really like something I can control, you know. I'm just designed this way. So yeah, anyways, I'm gonna wake up early at 8 a.m. tomorrow for the HKOS Zoom meeting. Yes, and after the Zoom meeting, I'll go back to bed. So there's that. So it was supposed to be 11 a.m., which would be 8 p.m. in Pacific time, but one of the people there wanted to do it at 5 p.m. Pacific time, aka 8 a.m. Hong Kong time, because tomorrow night is how many years? 6th year anniversary of 7/21, which is which is of course one of the key moments in the Hong Kong protests, where the triads and Yuen Long beat up protesters working with the police. So yeah, so I'm waking up at 8 a.m. so that I could have the meeting earlier, so that the other people in LA could attend the memoriam. You know, so I'm waking up early in honor of this, you know. And then beyond that, I don't want to do too much tomorrow. If it doesn't rain too hard, I want to go jogging again. Also in the afternoon, I'm going to head over to Taiku to watch F1. And actually, this is making me realize, you know what? I'm going to head over to CD Warehouse and buy some Blu-rays. Ooh. I'm not going to buy too much because I feel like I've been purchasing a little too much. But I'm gonna pick up some Blu-rays. And also buy something for my brother potentially. Yeah. So I'm gonna watch F1. My brother's also watching Superman tomorrow. Also today, during dinner, I was just in such a bad mood. I don't know why. There's something irritating, like this humidity in the air, the fact that there's a lot of people in this apartment and I'm not used to it. I don't know, but I kind of miss the end of round 3 when I came back to LA, when I came back to Hong Kong, and you know, I got to stay here for 3 months, and most of the 3 months nothing happened, and I kind of like that actually. I kind of like that endlessness, and I don't know when am I gonna ever feel that, because I feel like this summer is just so eventful, and then yeah, and then the entirety of next year is going to be just very intense, I think. Like, I just think it's going to be a very intense year. I'm going to be on so many sets. Oh yeah, Ethan Kwan DM'd me like a couple days ago asking me if I'm free, and I'm like, I'm not, because he wanted to ask me for my help for a shoot. Goddamn, every time I'm here, I miss out on things. But yeah, next year is going to be very intense, I think. Also, I want to make a big short film. Every single day I keep having new ideas for my short film, for my next short film, and how big and ambitious and edgy it's going to be. So I kind of want Ariel to act in it now. I kind of want Glenn and Ariel to star. So yeah. God damn, I want to talk to Giant. I don't know, I just want to, I don't know, it seems so difficult, but it seems so not difficult at the same, like, according to logic and common sense, it's like not difficult to get close to someone, but according to my reality, it is, and I just don't know what to do, man. I just don't know. Yeah, I don't like texting, man. You know. Okay, here's a good coherent thought. Here's a good thought. I do think it's good that I and Jian talk occasionally on Instagram. But that's gonna take us nowhere because we're talking through phone. I can't see her voice, I can't see her face, I can't hear her voice. It's good if we are actually gonna see each other in Hong Kong. It's good. And I hope we see each other more back in LA, because that's where, you know, I can actually make progress in terms of getting closer to someone. Texting is like the weakest, lowest quality. Okay, this is a weird analogy, but maybe socializing with someone is like nutrition and dieting. I saw a video the other day about protein quality, and you know, you can get proteins from beans and bread, but they're not high quality protein. And then you have like lean meat. And you know, right now when I'm texting Jayun, it's bread. It's bread. Or worse, you know, it's the lowest form of protein. But if I see Jayun in person, so we're literally sitting next to each other, we're at a fucking restaurant, and it's just the two of us and food. Literally, it's literally chicken breast. You know? Because I can say a lot of words to Jayun right now over Instagram, but only 30% of it, or maybe even less, is gonna actually land in her brain, because she can be distracted by something else. She's on her phone, and you know, I'm not present, right? But if I'm present, all of my words are gonna land on her brain, and for better or worse, like if I come off like a goofball, then that's it. If I come off impressively nice and charming, then that's also that. It's 100% of that. On Instagram you can't really tell. So yeah, I don't know. I just think yeah. I think the day that I do, hopefully, the day I do hang out with Jayun in Hong Kong is like so crucial. It's such an important day. Like I have to look nice, and I have to find the best places and the best restaurants, and just give her the best time possible, and just expect nothing else. But it's gonna be very crucial. Like I'm the host and she's the guest in my hometown, you know? And to a certain extent, this hometown is now like, I'm now on behalf of this hometown, I guess. So yeah, yeah, we'll see. Watch like Jayun telling me that it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna be so mad. But then again, I feel like post rush, when I DM'd Jayun, it was like, you know, who cares? I'm just gonna say some nice things to her. But then she actually got closer to me, and then suddenly I'm invested again. It's like back to square one. It's really stupid. It's really stupid. Okay, time now is 11:37 a.m. in the morning. On July 21st. I almost forgot to say the date. Yeah, it's been like how many days since I've been back? Yeah, quite some days. I slept from like 2:10 a.m. to 7:55. I woke up by an alarm, and then from 8 a.m. to about 8:20, I was on a Zoom meeting on my phone. I literally just went downstairs and just held up my phone like this and looked at a Zoom meeting. And then after that, I washed my hands, I went back to bed, and for about like a whole hour, I couldn't fall back asleep, but I eventually did, and then I woke up at around 10:50. So yeah, that's basically that. Not much updates in the HKOS Zoom meeting. It's just that the schedule for the screenings are already kind of finalized, and I told them because I really wanted to screen PTU and Throw Down, but Kay was like, no, the schedule is already really packed, and there's no time to sneak in another screening unless one of our films sort of drop out. And I'm like, okay. But I thought that kind of sucks because every single year in this HKOS Film Festival, there's like at least 3 classic films. Like last year, there are 3 classic films, right? No, 4? No, 3 classic films. And the first year, it's just half of the films are classic films. It's just like an essential part, you know? We need the classics. Cannes Film Festival has the Cannes Classics, so we need the classics. So that kind of sucks. I also really like introducing people to good cinema, and the films that are on the schedule right now, they're all like decent at best, terrible at worst. So I don't really know. And you know, she said the schedule's really packed, but like a lot of the screening days, they just screen short films, and it's like, yeah, short films are cool and all, but, you know, why are we spending so much time screening them? So, yeah. But anyways, there are going to be 2 days of screening in USC on the first 2 Tuesdays. No, the second and third Tuesdays. And I told them I'm only free on Tuesday night because Wednesday and Thursday night I have classes. So... yeah, I'm going to be presenting these films. I'm going to be hosting them because I'm a USC student too. So that would be fun, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, aside from that, I don't know. I feel like there's like a dip. I don't know why, but like I talked to Jayan so much last week, and then suddenly now it's like less and less. Like, yesterday I DM'd Jayan, and now she's not checking my texts again. It's like she lost interest again. And, you know, I don't want to question anything. I don't want to question how she thinks or feels, because it's just going to be an endless rabbit hole of, no, but she feels this way, but she feels that way, but she feels this way and that way and this way and that way. And it's just going to reach a point where it's just going to, like, fuck me up. So I'm just not going to question it. I'm still gonna like try to say things to her, you know, if there are any interesting things to say. I just feel like we're not that close yet at all, actually. I feel like, you know, it's very rare for me to grow really close to someone, of any gender for that matter. I think we need to be together physically for a long time. And even so, sometimes it wouldn't be. Like with Colin and Garrett, I was with them for 12 days, and I see them constantly for 12 days, and I still feel like I spent a lot of time by myself in these 12 days. So it was, yeah, didn't really do anything, you know. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like, classes are out of the question. I just think, I don't know, I think I grew really close to people in community college because we literally see each other so frequently, especially during the ends and means stuff. Me with Tova and Naja, I feel like I feel more comfortable around them because I've been around them a lot. And also like Cliff and Justin T. I don't see Justin T that much though, but I feel like it just works out, I guess. Yeah. I don't know though. We'll see. And then aside from that, I'm not gonna do too much today. I'm gonna watch a film at Taiku. I'm gonna buy some Blu-rays. If it's not raining, I'm gonna go jogging again because I need to lose some fat. I feel like my belly is less bloated now compared to last week. But it's still like not ideal at all, so I need to do that. Also, last night I didn't finish my film because I started falling asleep. But right before I went to bed, I did draw a little bit, but only a little bit. I feel like I need to make progress on the whole drawing thing. So, yeah, that's that. Bruh. Okay, time now is 11:09 p.m. Yeah, not much to be said, not much to be done. I have more acne here, so that's great. Nothing too crazy really happened today. All I did was go to Taiku Shing to watch F1, which I thought was okay, and then I bought 3 Blu-rays. One of them is for my brother's birthday, and 2 is for myself, and it's $300 and something, but you know what, it's okay, I guess. Yeah, and then that's it. I wanted to go down and jog, but it rained quite a bit actually. When I went out, I wore Crocs, so my feet was, I couldn't put on my slippers, so I have to take a shower. And for a moment, I was like, you know what? I could just wash my feet and dry them really fast, or maybe I just ignore the dirty, dried rain on my feet and just wear socks and put on sports shoes immediately and go down and jog. But at the end, I got lazy. I was like, nah, I don't have to go down. So I didn't. So I didn't go jogging, but I'm glad at least I have the incentive. I'm glad at least I thought of going jogging. I really think about being healthy these days. You know, I really think about being in shape. Yeah, Jayun saw my DMs and said haha, and that's it. I don't know. We'll see. I think from her standpoint, though, you know, if you're friends with someone, you don't have to have very deep conversations with them every single time. So I think it's, you know, it's whatever. And then yeah, nothing else to be said, nothing else to report. I'm also not very productive. I did see 2 films today though, so that was quite impressive. But not that productive overall. And yeah, tomorrow I'll be having dinner with Pink, so that's gonna be nice. And how many days are we away from? We're like 6 days away from going to Beijing. That's actually kind of crazy. I'm not prepared for that shit at all. I don't think anyone is. Like, yeah. So yeah. It's funny too, because yesterday me and my family were supposed to discuss, I guess, our plan for Beijing, but I guess we never did, because my mom wasn't really in the mood, or I wasn't in the mood either. But there are places where I kind of have to snag tickets to, like the National Museum, so I'm gonna probably try to do that myself. I don't really know. Yeah. And actually tomorrow I may leave earlier. I may head over to Mongkok so that I could buy an ND filter. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna try to do. And then that's it. And if I have extra time tomorrow night, I'm gonna go jogging, but probably not. But it's okay. I could say that helping out with the concert 2 days ago was kind of an exercise, and then oh my god, it's been 2 days already. So 2 days later I could go jogging again. You know, that's fine. Yeah, that's it. That's all. Okay, boys, time now is 12:08 afternoon on July 22nd. It's been, I think, 10 days since I've been back, I believe, and also 6 days before Beijing, or actually 5 days. So honestly, not a lot of time left I slept from 3:30 a.m. to 11:10 or 11:20. That was crazy. Did not expect to sleep so much. So yeah, I feel energized, and today shouldn't be too complicated. At some point I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna head over to Mongkok to actually look for ND filters. If it's expensive, so be it. And then I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna meet up with Pink at Causeway Bay, and then we're gonna have dinner together, and that's pretty much it for today. If there's time for jogging, then cool. I pretty much don't have a lot else to talk about. I just want to rest, and I know that's really difficult. I feel like the only time I got to rest was like September 2023, when I was done with my community college, and I pretty much like abandoned everything. But I don't think that's gonna ever be possible evermore. So yeah. I don't know. I talked to Michelle about the whole Jiayun situation a while back, and she's been bugging me constantly about it. About how, why are you weird about her? Like, why can't you make up your mind? And I'm like, I just can't. But that's like the thing, is like, why is the world so non-binary? Why do I have to either have or don't have feelings for this girl? It could be in between, The world is complicated and ambiguous, and nothing makes sense. So, yeah, because, like, I feel like if Jiayun, I don't know, if she's less, okay, if she has the same personality, same look probably, but instead of being this really, like, uppity, like, extroverted, out there person, if she's more hidden, I would probably be like, oh, wow, okay, interesting. But she's always out there, and I feel like that made her less interesting, So I don't know. She's not, like, yesterday I was thinking maybe she's just not it, but then also nobody's it, and why not take my chances here? Yeah. So I don't know, who knows. I also don't know how to have like a good conversation with Jiayun. Like, I mean, we had great conversations, but it's just, I don't know how to keep it going, and I'm trying to think of like people whom I've been consistently good friends with, So I don't know. Maybe it's like a me thing. Maybe it's like depends on how open I am when I'm in front of them. And if I'm really open, they have to be really open as well. I feel like it's that kind of thing. But I feel like I can't really do that unless I'm seeing her in person. So yeah. I hope she meant it when she said she's coming to Hong Kong. I hope it's not like some false alarm, because that would be very depressing. And then next semester, it's just going to be like, oh, let's meet up for coffee, and then it's never going to happen. And it's just last semester all over again. Yeah. I don't know. Jing Chen, the Malaysian guy, randomly DM'd me an Instagram story made by Jamie, the Chinese woman, who is actually reposting another Instagram story of another person looking for a Cantonese-speaking PA for a documentary. So I was like, hey, do you need my help? But if it's over the summer, then I'm screwed anyways, because I'm in Hong Kong. So, yeah. Well, that's it. time now is 2:52 a.m. It's really late. I'm gonna take a shower and go to bed right now. I just want to talk about what happened today. Pretty simple. I didn't do much again. I feel like I keep not doing much every single day. In the morning I watched a film, and then just now I finished Squid Game Season 3. What I can say is that I've been very effectively watching things, watching movies and TV shows. I've been really effectively watching them. So, yeah, today at 5:30, I went outside of my apartment and I went all the way to Mongkok to find an ND filter. A long journey for a filter. And the moment I went downstairs, I opened the door, and just as I was about to step out of the shade, it suddenly starts raining. It's magical. So I wanted to come back because I was like, well, I was wearing sports shoes. I wanted to come back to here to change into Crocs, and then I realized the helper is out and no one's at the apartment. So, or like, my brother's here, but my brother's probably not gonna hear me. So I'm like, fine, I'll just go. So I went, and thankfully my sports shoes did not get wet. Not really, not that much. Because if it is, then it would be a repeat of what happened in Nice. But anyways, that's that. I arrived at Mongkok and it was raining pretty heavily. I was lost. I went to this tower where it's 3 floors and it's completely jam-packed with camera stuff, with camera gear, lenses, tripods, camera bags. It was crazy. And I'm glad I found a weird place like that. It was such a random place. And then I asked the security guard there, where is this building that I'm looking for? And he's like, to the side. So I went to a building to the side and went to 11th floor. Turns out the whole building is just restaurants. And then I realized that there's another building sandwiched between those two buildings I just went to, because this is Hong Kong. The buildings are very dense. I went to that one. I went to 11th floor, and I went to this tiny store that sells camera gear. And man, this shit never happens in LA, where the buildings are so dense and they're like stores hidden within these small floors of a building, of a skinny building. You know, there's so much packed in one small location in Hong Kong. This could never happen in LA. Like, a whole lot of land has to be given to this one store. Anyways, I went into this store and I looked for an ND filter, and eventually the dude over there was like, here's one, and it's $890. I was like, okay. So I bought it, and I have it now. I have it in my diagonal bag right now. Supposedly I will be given back the $890, and by given back to me, it basically means it's going back to mom. Yeah. So I have the ND filter now. I feel better now. Yeah, that was $890. So that was basically like what? That was like 120 US bucks maybe. But it is pretty good because it is a variable ND plus a polarizing filter. So it's actually really mega useful. And this is actually a higher quality filter than the one I have in LA. So, damn. Should have bought one for myself instead. But that's what I have now. That's cool. So I went all the way to Causeway Bay to Hysan Place and met up with Pink. And it's also been a year since I've seen Pink. And yeah, she just showed up. And then we just sat down and talked. We went to Hysan Place, and goddamn, Hysan Place looks so different now. The underground, they changed, they did some renovations, and it looked way fancier now. Yeah. So Hysan Place looks different now, and there were a bunch of restaurants, and then so we went to food court, which is at B2 level, so like underground but multiple levels. Again, it's like only in Hong Kong. Underground malls they don't exist in LA, right? I guess you could say the parking lot for Century City Mall is underground, but like underground malls don't really exist in LA. And it's just, yeah. So we found this Korean restaurant in a food court-ish place. We sat down and I ordered wrong. I wanted pudul jjigae, and I ended up getting the seafood soup, which is fine, whatever. So I ate it. I don't get the chance to eat seafood that much anyways in LA, so might as well. So we had a conversation, and it's interesting because Pink is telling me things that I genuinely have never even heard of. So first big news is my former class teacher, Miss Ho, Chemistry Ho, Chem Ho, as we call her, had cancer and then recovered. Holy shit. I had no idea. I had zero inkling that something like that happened. And she got cancer and then she recovered in the span of the whole last year, which I'm not here. And then our PE teacher, former PE teacher, Mr. Chan, also got cancer and also recovered, apparently. But apparently it was like a near-death experience. So that was crazy. I had no idea something like that happened. Another thing that happened was, I and Pink actually talked a lot. And it's so crazy because I realized I haven't seen Pink in a year. And I thought, well, a year's not that long. And then I realized last time I saw her, I haven't even gotten my ALI job yet. Which is like centuries ago. So like, my recollection of what happened in the USA is like a lot happened in the last year. But then when I think about what happened in Hong Kong, or like, I don't know, time just works differently in these two places, right? It's even crazier the fact that, you know, I could meet, say, someone like Luis or Cliff, like once every 3 or 4 months, and I'm like, not that much time had passed, but as it turns out, 3 to 4 months is quite a bit in the USC world, right? So time works differently in different places. Okay, let me switch this on again. Talked to Pink a lot about like my experience at Cannes Film Festival. She had zero idea how it works. I was talking about how I watch movies, and she was like, "Wait, the film festival is for watching movies? Like, would you just sit down in a room and watch movies?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's a film festival." And she's like, "Wow." But yeah, Pink talked about her last relationship, and I genuinely thought she was talking about the badminton guy that she dated last year, whom she found out to be a cheater, which kind of ruined her emotionally, and apparently she went to a mental hospital again, and now she had to pop pills every single day. And multiple ones, and she said it's never going to end. She will have to take pills for the rest of her life because she's pretty much reliant on it now, and it's for the better. And then she started to talk about how, you know, my ex-boyfriend, he also had depression, but he didn't tell me until 3 months into dating, and then we ended up dating for like 10 months, and there were some red flags here and there. Like one time we were walking in the park and a kid kicked a football and it landed in front of my feet, and I wanted to pick up the football and give it back to the kid, but my boyfriend like started staring at me in a very weird way, and then when the kid got the football back, he started staring at the kid, and then apparently he had a fight at a gym, blah blah blah. And I was like, "Oh, is this before the cheating or after the cheating?" And Pink was like, "No, that's another boyfriend." And I'm like, "Oh." So in the span of me talking to Pink last year and this year, Pink had got a new boyfriend and then broken up with. So much happened. so much happened. It's honestly really crazy. So, yeah, I mean, again, it's awkward because I'm about to be 23 and I still don't have a girlfriend. And people will literally gain relationships and then lose them, have cancer, lose them over that time period. Every time I come back to Hong Kong, it's like I need someone to upload all the crazy stuff that happened over the last year into my brain, just quickly, like, just insert all the information, to overload information on me, because I genuinely have no idea what happened. So yeah, I think that's the point though, actually though. Like, I feel like if I go to the US, it's like I start in an alternate reality, which spares me from the suffering of being in Hong Kong. Like, I would rather be in LA and struggle with not having a girlfriend than be in Hong Kong and struggle with not having a girlfriend. Because it would be like, oh, guess what? Marty just has a girlfriend. AJ just got a girlfriend. Pink has just got her 5th boyfriend. Natalie's still with her boyfriend for like 2 years already. And it's like her 5th. And I would have to, like, every time I meet up with them, I would have to, like, remember that. But the fact that I got to leave them and also suffer but be gone is actually a good thing. I feel like it's like I don't know. I feel like partially it's good because every time I come back, I got to become a blank slate. Like, you know, every time I every time I reunite with Natalie, it's like, oh, what if I'm a different person now? And I can have the, I don't know. There's more of a mystery to me. I feel like if I meet Natalie once a month, it's like, okay, Natalie knows what I'm doing with my life. But if I meet Natalie like once a year or once every 2 years, it's like, you know, so much could be happening. And even if I haven't had a girlfriend, it's like there's so much ambiguity, you know, because they don't know me that well anymore. So I don't know. But yeah, I and Pink, we also went to the Esleep bookstore, walked around for a little while, and then we took the MTR and then left. And hopefully we see each other again briefly before I go back to Hong Kong. Before I go back to LA. So there's that. Yeah, nothing else. But Pink told me how she's fine having guy friends, but the moment a guy starts approaching her in a more personal way, she starts getting tense. Now she's really enjoying being single. Again, this is like, I even wrote about it in The Virgin in my script, where it's like there are people who has completely moved on with the whole relationships thing. Like, yeah, relationships are cool, but, you know, I really need some alone time, you know. And it just sucks because I don't like seeing the people around me. I mean, it's great for Pink, by the way, great for Pink. But just the idea of people around me being more mature and they're like, I'm done with this, you know, love thing. Like, it's just, you know, I'm too old for that. It's just like a bit of an insult to me because I haven't even gone through that. And I really wish I had. I really wish I'd gone through a phase where I'm so madly in love with someone and someone's so madly in love with me. But instead, I think as someone in his 20s, it doesn't work that way anymore, and I never got to feel that drunken, intense, passionate love. In fact, I feel like the older I get, the less loving I am, and the more apathetic I become. Like, I just don't have feelings that much anymore. So I feel like I'll never really get to truly experience it. I mean, though I do have to admit, I was so infatuated with Mary, and that's better than nothing. That's better than not being infatuated with anyone, by the way. So I'm glad I'm able to feel that, because literally Mary is my every single day. But now, I guess I don't care as much anymore. But yeah, I'm still really looking forward to Giant coming to Hong Kong, if that really happens. Again, Giant's not telling me if it's actually gonna happen or not. But yeah. I don't know. It would also be very ironic if another reason why I want to be successful and have a girlfriend, etc., is because so that I love the feeling of people going, oh my god, Enoch has a girlfriend? No way, him? Like, I want to, like, surprise people. I know that's, like, a bad reason to do it. You should have relationships for the sake of having relationships and not for the sake of impressing others. But I've been impressed by others the same way I've been insulted by others, right? An impression is an insult to me, and I want to insult others that way. And like we've come to a point where it doesn't even fucking matter. Like, I can tell Natalie, oh, I just had a girlfriend, and Natalie would be like, yay. Like, it's not even that cool anymore. And it's not even that relevant anymore. It's not like if I tell, like, Hans about this, which, by the way, I'm probably never even gonna see him. He doesn't know me anymore. He doesn't know whoever I'm referring to. It's like, it's just pointless. And I don't know, it's just so depressing, man. It's just so depressing. But I think, I don't know, I think maybe, you never know though, maybe if I do officially date someone, maybe I'll be like drunken in love like a teenager. Like, you cannot extinguish all the possibilities of that. So who knows? But yeah, that's pretty much it. What else? I was gonna say something else. I don't know. It's late. I'm tired. Yeah, I was talking to Pink a lot about, like, having sleep, like good sleep. Pink was talking about diving in the water. Pink had like a mark on her forehead because of the snorkel, the glasses, the goggles, the snorkel goggles. And she got a little sunburned while she was diving and cycling. It's also so interesting because Pink tells me a lot about her life recently, her job, and her love life, and her interest in diving. And then when I met with Natalie's like, oh, I'm just working, I'm just working. And when I mentioned Natalie, Pink was asking me the same question. He's like, is Natalie really fat now? And I'm like, yeah, Natalie's gained a lot of weight. Yeah, so I don't know, man. She also told me how much our school had changed, which is a bummer because I really want to film at the school, but it will look different now. It would look different now. So yeah. Part of me wants to just go there and film now, because a couple years later the bathrooms are just gonna look different. The bathrooms will look different. Apparently the staff office is being renovated as well, and it's just gonna look really different, and it just kind of ruins the whole 2015 2016 period piece thing, yeah. But yeah, back to relationships though. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I've come to a point where I'm just so sick of being worried about this. And I think, there's also Harry. you know, Harry apparently just has a lot of sex now, but then I don't want that though, because what Harry's looking for is just cheap lust. So somehow that's less impressive. If, like, you know, Natalie having 5 boyfriends is like impressive, but then if you go to a certain extreme, it's like not impressive again, you know? And, you know, maybe it's not that either. It's just, I don't know. And what would I say? You know, when Tyrus lost his virginity and texted Natalie, no, called Natalie and cried. Apparently that's what happened. I feel like if something like that happened, I wouldn't even tell Natalie. I don't even know what I would do. I would just not tell anyone, and then maybe bring it up. I would be misleading with it too, you know? I would be like, oh, you know, I don't know. And, I don't know. I guess there's still a lot of unresolved shit, I guess, with the whole secondary school thing. I think, a good part of me is still mad about just me having such a shitty ending. I just, maybe if I want to mean something to them, to the school people, I would. It's not just a matter of having a girlfriend anymore. It's a matter of, like, being really, like, infamous or something, you know? I don't know. But I was gonna say it would be ironic if, you know, not if, I think it's inevitable. This is my last summer in Hong Kong, you know, before, I guess, a long time later. And I feel like I'm not there yet. I'm not successful with my life yet. I feel like a lot of people are really successful with their lives, like relationships and career. I feel like I will get there, but it would be when I can't even show off. That's when I would be able to get there. I think that's the irony, is like, I will be successful one day, but at that point, there's no point in showing off. Like, I will be successful, and then that's it. But maybe it's good. Maybe it's destiny. And maybe it's yeah. I just feel like, you know, people don't even post their boyfriends anymore. The thing is, like, if Pink had posted pictures, I would know, you know? Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm like, even if I had the ability to show off, I probably wouldn't, because I like being mysterious. No, I would show off, but I would be so ambiguous with it that people would think I'm insane. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm tired.